Hey everybody, Lensmanos here, and this is FTB Beyond episode 13. How's everyone doing today? I've made a couple of tiny little changes to my refined storage system. I took away the input buses and just added one interface here, just so I could pull out, if you noticed in the pulverizer we had byproducts, so we were getting like, what's it called? Slag. We were getting slag byproduct coming out, and it was jamming up the pulverizer and causing everything to stop. So I set up an interface here. Interfaces are fairly easy sort of ideas. It's just if you've played with applied logistics before, you'll know what they do. But pretty much, I'm now extracting from all of these just via an item conduit straight into this interface, and then it goes in the refined storage system. So the pulverizer and the sag mill and everything. This isn't really connected because it's still never active, because this should go into here and into here, but well, not really. Let's just turn it on, because eventually it will need to be used, but it's not being used because there's nothing in the crafter. That's where I was getting to. This is still processing slowly. Things seem to be alright. I'm doing some work over here. I'll show you in just a second. Main Freak mentioned, the only other thing is I put a crafting grid down here too. Main Freak mentioned that XNet has a priority series, and spot on, it does have a priority series. My sprinklers keep disappearing too. So in the XNet controller, when you select on this here, it has a priority. So you can actually set, in this case I've done a -1 priority, so it will only, it's extracting from both of those generators now. It's inserting into everything with a priority of 0, and the cell is a -1. So it's the last thing it puts power into. Other than that, this is working quite well. I will eventually, I believe, put an Ender IO farming station out here somewhere. I think I'll put it over in the distance over there. And I want to hook it up to this as well. I want to try and, I know I don't have much in the way of channels left, but I'm going to probably finesse this a little bit and maybe do a couple of things a bit more compact. I don't think I need to do as much as what I'm doing here. I can probably, like this one here, this isn't being used, it's just extracting from the sag mill and putting it nowhere. You know, it's the seeds and it's not doing anything. I don't know what I was doing there. I think that was meant to go to the trash bin or the farm or something. It was probably meant to go into here, but we're extracting here. So this one's actually just not needed. So I've got another channel there we can use for a farming station or two. We'll work it out. It's night time. I need to eat. Still going through these last few potatoes that I have in my inventory. This episode, I want to do a little bit of automation around the canola oil. Now, I did say in one of the previous episodes that I was going to try and do canola oil as a fuel source, and that's going to require a few things. One of which is it's going to require empowering some seeds, and so I thought I would set up a basic, and this is a direwolf-esque setup, but it's just taken me a little bit to work out my own little redstone logic underneath. So this is the atomic reconstructor from Actually Editions, and I've got a pattern up in here at the moment to be able to make Palus crystals and Restonia crystals. So these are just redstone and lapis, basically, and they will drop into here, which drops it onto the pressure plate. This is the same as this, so this one's set up as pulse mode, so it'll fire when I fire the button. This one is set up on a timer. Now, what happens here, and I literally have just spent the last 10 minutes, and I should be better at redstone by now. I've been playing Minecraft for a long time, or modded Minecraft for a long time. I should be better at this by now, but things sometimes take me a little bit to work around. So this is just redstone conduit. got to connect it up here with an in-out and a strong signal. Around the back here, and I'm sure there's a way of inverting this signal. I'm just, again, it's been a long day at work. I'm sort of just playing around with things. But we're inverting the signal, so pretty much the torch is on. It's stopped the timer, so the timer is set so when we get a redstone signal, it won't run. This is set to 60 seconds, 60 ticks I should say, which is probably what, 3 seconds? The idea being that when something drops onto the pressure plate, because this can take a little while to drop, it's a delay before it fires the pulse. Now, I may need to extend that out a bit. 60 may not be long enough. But at the moment, if I... Let's see, let's go and grab... Restonia, we've got 21 in here. Let's just make another 10. Start. If I swing around, you should see them dropping. Yeah, see, 3 seconds isn't long enough. But it's not too bad because the pulse will continue because the timer pulsed again, so that got rid of the last piece that we needed. So maybe it is working all right. 3 seconds might be long enough. This is a ranged collector, so I guess a few of the things here. We've got the actually, and this is almost all actually additions this setup, apart from the timer, I guess. We've got the atomic reconstructor, which we've seen before, which is the iron casing, sticks, black quartz, etc. We have the range collector, which is void crystal, 2 ender pearls, one of those iron casings, and a hopper. Now, void crystal is just coal in the atomic reconstructor. So I haven't added that as a recipe yet. Should do that. And the dropper, where are you? Auto placer. I've gone blank of where it's hiding. Automatic precision dropper. Should be here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Look, right in front of me. So it's just some cobble, a normal dropper, a couple of payless crystals, and an advanced coil. Advanced coil is gold nuggets around a basic coil. Basic coil is Restonia around black quartz. So fairly straightforward. This enables this to drop onto here, and the pulse happens, and we get items. So I can teach this a few more patterns. So as I was saying with the canola seeds, I think I'm going to sneeze here in a second. Hopefully not. You see here one of the things we need is this crystallized canola seed. That's for part 2 of the oil setup, the fluids. So we've got canola oil, which is straight from your canola seeds, or whichever the other canola ones are. So we have canola oil, and we then make that down into oil, and then we can make it into crystallized oil, which is what these seeds are for. So this is just a setup that I wanted to get going and working before we got too much further along. And I do need to clean up behind here with some sort of neat and tidy blocks. There's the culinary generator underneath the ground there. Still undecided what I want to do with the walls here. I might grab some more of this basalt, or however you want to say it. Here's the big tiles. And I'm just going to put this across here for now. I want to put glass in front of this, which means I want to clean up these blocks and make them nice and pretty, and hide a few things away. I'll probably end up hiding most of this, but for the moment I want to be able to access this and this so I can get some more patterns in there. And I mean, essentially, if we want more things dropped in here, we can always add another crafter on one of the other sides here and get more items dropping. But yeah, that's a basic system. Again, as I said, I want to clean up the floor and the bits and pieces here, so I can probably clean that up. I can't clean the one up underneath it now, but that's fine because that's gone alright. But yeah, I'm going to get some Tinker's clear glass and have a panel of glass in front, and then just normal bricks. Whatever, I still, as I said, haven't decided on what I want to do the walls in. I was trying to get Jay Morella to choose a block earlier, but she wasn't sure what to use either. The other thing I've done here is just put an importer on here, and the cable just runs under the floor back over to there. Pops up there. But that's one part of the system. The next part of the system, and as I said, I want to try and keep all of this sort of mounted in the wall. I want it to be hidden away. Well, not hidden. I want it to be visual. I want it to still be seen, but I don't want it to be interacted with. I want it kind of display type behind glass. So to do the canola oil, we're going to need a couple of things. Let's just dump some of this stuff off. Actually, additions, we are going to need... Now, I'm not sure how many of these I need, actually. Not the crates. Wow. I really am, like, blind tonight. Now, in everyday life, I do wear spectacles. I have glasses. I do not need them to actually... I'm short-sighted, so I only need them when I'm driving the car, for example, but for the life of me today, I reckon I could do with something else. Alright, so canola press is something I need. We're going to need a nori, we're going to need canola, an advanced coil. Not sure how much of this stuff I've got. Okay, just need to make the advanced coil. So let's make another one of them. I'm out of quartz again. I need to go to the nether and do a mining run because I think I'm really low on quartz. Like, I've got 4. Time for another run. Yep, there we go. There's an advanced coil. So, canola press, it does require power, I believe. And then after that, we need the fermenting barrels. So that requires wood casings. We're probably going to need some more sticks. Let's just do that, and then a couple of them. I do want, let's see, can I do this? It doesn't seem to be all dictionarying the dark oak wood. I'm going to grab 2 of these, and I think I will need to, okay, 2 of them. I want some canola as well. How much of this? 220, that's not bad. Not many seeds though, so we need that farm upstairs to really to progress along. We can convert, oh pardon me, convert 1-to-1 canola into canola seeds, but just want that system upstairs to get moving. So canola press. Wonder if I can use the power from that system up there. I mean, potentially we could. We could put a let's see. Let's get an XNet connector. I don't think I've got any in here. Let's double check. Nope. Just one of these. Cool. And I don't want to break that line because then I have to break all the stuff upstairs. So let's put this here. Let's do you there, and then put the canola press here. Right. And yeah, it's alright. So what I want to do, I was a little unsure whether I'm going to go ahead with this, but we'll give it a go. Do you have canola on me? So let's set up a little bit of automation here. So we've currently got that second channel which takes everything out of the multi-farm and shoves it into, extracts from the multi-farm and puts it into this last line, which doesn't seem to work. What are you doing? Oh no, sorry, out of the multi-farm and into here. What we can do is we've got the canola press as well. We can give this a create and just insert canola into here. And we can probably do like priority of 0, but that's fine. The priority system, maybe we can just go like -1 on this. So it'll try here first, and then it'll put the rest into the interface. We can also go power, extract from here and put power into that. Yep, it should now. So this should now be getting power, and it should be getting any canola from here. or anything that's left over anyway. Like, let's get rid of these rice seeds. So let's go downstairs and check that out. Might sleep too. I mean, this torch does hold the... I'm sleeping on a torch. Look at that. The big torch downstairs does hold the monsters at bay. This big thing here. And it seems alright, so maybe we're all good. Right, so this has power. And I guess if it does do some canola upstairs, we will get canola into the system. But we're getting power, and as I said, it should put canola in here first, and we won't know until it finishes doing what it's doing. So I guess the next thing to do is how this works is we get canola oil in here, so it's just using this canola straight into here, canola oil, and then you got to put the canola oil into a fermenting barrel. In this case, I'm going to do 2. Maybe, maybe, because we want to go out of here and into these. I think this will work. I could start with 1 and see what happens, but do I have fluid conduits? I've got some pressurized ones. That might be enough. I might just go underneath here. As I said, eventually this will all be hidden. Let's dig this up. Cool. And we want 1. And it's already pushing it out. See that? So this should be inserting that. No, I need to get down here and put these into insert. Does that work? No. I must have to extract at the bottom. Alright. That foils that plan, and we've just lost all that oil, which wasn't a lot of oil. That's cool. Let's reroute this then. Probably put it up into the back of them, maybe. Maybe that'll work. Okay, let's get rid of this. The fluid there, are you now working? Yes, you've got canola oil in you. It's not much. It's 20 millibuckets. But yeah, that should work. That should get us what we need. And then we can extract out the bottom maybe into the next bit. So the next thing I want to do will be where we use the seeds from here to make the next tier of liquid. Now I need to work a system here. I want to probably store this in a tank. So we'll need to get a tank and get that set up. And yeah, maybe we need to... What tanks do we have in this pack? Tank. Maybe just a standard fluid tank. Singularity tank might be alright. It's just some glass. That should do what I need. So I should be able to put this here. And then we go like that and have this extract. So now I need to get back under here. Extract always active. It's active. Cool. And then this one probably just needs to be insert. And we could probably put it on in out and then have the next block I need. So that's just like a buffer. Maybe. I think I'm going to end up actually having this hidden now if I continue doing what I'm doing. I need to work out the best way of doing this next bit. We also need to get some more canola in here, so yeah, you just have that. This is fairly quick. This is a lot slower. You can see this a little bit slow here. I don't know Are you actual? No, you're not. So you're putting canola in there. Why are you putting canola out? Oh, look. Duh. Silly me. Goodness. That was a derp. Let's take them out of there for a moment. Let's get this thing to... There we go. Now you're doing all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. Let's... Wow. Oh, not what I wanted. Stuff going everywhere. Now I need to fix my dirt. Let's put that there for the moment. I'll make another one. They were fairly cheap. Like so. Alright, that should be draining out that. We need to somehow drain out all this junk here, because it's still got plenty in it. How'd you get? Drain out. Cool. Now we'll disable that again. That should work. Let's try this. I mean, I guess I could probably put the fluid tank back hiding in the wall back there, and this should be putting in canola in both of them, and they'll be producing lag apparently. They'll be producing this oil. Just regular oil. So we've gone from canola, fermented it into normal oil. We could run a generator on this. Not sure if this shows you the actual power it puts out. The oil generator, you may need to get the book. Here's the book. Miscellaneous blocks that generate. Where is it in here? I'm not real sure where it is in here. Interface. Russia. So we've got the canola and oil system. So canola you get out of them can be used in canola press to make canola oil. This can be used in an oil generator. It displays the amount of power it generates in its GUI. So then you've got canola can be used as power, then you can turn it into oil, then you can turn it into crystallized oil, and then there's an even bigger one, the empowered oil, which we're not near yet. I'll need to make an empowering station, this little display stand. I think it's this and a bunch of other stuff. Needs a lot of power, but we'll get to probably second tier using a few items here, one of which is a fluid placer and the other is a fluid collector. So that's our next step in the line, and I was just trying to decide whether to run it around into the next part of the wall, or because as I said, I want to make it visual. I want it to be seen when it's working. So I will need another one of these automatic precision droppers, because it requires dropping of the seeds into the oil that you've got underneath it to turn it into the next type. I do need to go and watch another couple of videos on logic. I'm going to struggle a little bit, I think. I don't want to copy, the people exactly, but they've definitely done a lot more work with logic and what needs to be on and what needs to be off, more than I have anyway. So something I want to work on is getting that next piece done. And yeah, where that sits in this wall, I'm not sure. As I said, I could always put it up here, but I kind of want it behind glass. I want it to be seen, but not interacted with. Not manual. It should all be automatic. So I may end up putting, like, I don't know. I have to sink it into the wall, and that's my issue. Maybe it will just be around here somewhere. But yeah, so far we've got canola and stuff getting made up, turning it into canola oil in both these, turning it down into oil, which will eventually be used in an oil generator for a decent amount of RF. I'm thinking that I will run this power out to the quarry, or the other option was a environmental tech solar, which again may be a thing. I just don't think I've got the materials I need to make it at the moment. It needs a lot of gold, needs a bunch of stuff that I just don't have. So yeah, some more mining to be done. I'd like to run the quarry, but it chews power. Tons of power. Let's just quickly look in canola. Not canola. Canola. 194. Probably turn one stack into that for now. I do want this farm to potentially just be canola, because at the moment it's mainly rice, so I may have to just pull the rice out completely and put canola up here. Don't really need coffee, so that can go away. And flax, I'm not sure about. I don't know whether to keep the flax here or not, because I don't know how much string I've got. But putting that cobble in there should stop that from. We've got tons of string. Let's take the flax out of there and just convert this just to being canola. So eventually, once this all grows and things happen here, should then all turn into canola, and we'll get a lot more canola seeds generated. Obviously, on the other side of things, we'll need to maybe put a drawer or a. I don't think we've got barrels. Do we? I could use one of their storage barrels actually, just to keep the whole actually additions thing. Actually, said actually a lot there. We could use their storage crates. Small storage crates are huge, they really are. We could potentially work out some sort of hopper out of there into the unit. There's the empower I was talking about, by the way. So that might be a thing. We might be able to work out a way of doing that, and that way we're really using mainly actually additions to make this. Let's just quickly duck out here. I'm not going to be able to do this next level of power generation in this episode. I will need to, as I said, do some more work with the redstone logic behind what I need to do. Because the main idea is that you want it to put oil in, but you don't want it to drop a seed until the oil is there. So what I'll do is I'll show you how it works just before we wrap up. Let's grab a couple of bits of glass here and show you what I wanted to do downstairs. I think 3 should be enough from memory. And 4 would be excellent, but 3 might be enough. Need to make some more of the seed stone too. Any Enderman out here? I tend to come out here and look for Enderman every now and then. Made a 3rd watermill just for a little bit more GP. Put one more in there just for luck in case I need it. Do I have a bucket? Yes, I have a bucket. And a lot of junk. Get out. I was trying to repeater. I sort of mixed up my timer and repeater setup when I was redstoning before. So with this, the idea was to put like glass in front of it, so that when you see it drop, you just see it through here, and this will have you know, like blocks around here to keep it all covered. Something like that, where it's just an in the wall type thing, and you're not interacting with it. But I need to access this for a little bit longer yet. So the way this works, I need a canola seed. Do I have a bucket of canola of oil yet? Yes. So the idea is that regular oil gives you X amount of power in the unit, and I forget what it is. I'll make the unit next episode, and we'll show what that does. But to get the next tier, you need to take one of these canola seeds and turn it into an empowered canola seed, which requires being placed on here. Oh, did I miss? Like that. Oh, really? Let's get out of the way. And you can see there, it's now taken power and turned into a crystallized canola seed. And then the idea is you drop it in here. And see how it's turned to red now. So that's now crystallized oil. But obviously if you want to set up one of these dropper things, you want to drop the seeds in, but you don't want it to remove the oil before it's turned into crystallized oil, and you don't want it to drop a seed until it's turned into, until there's oil there, and there's so many variables we need to work out and work a way around. I'll have to work a way of doing it. But for now, I think this is a good wrapping up point. Thank you everyone for watching. Got a bit of a canola, start of a canola power generation system set up here. We'll get some more canola in the farm upstairs, and that should help us with the actual generation of canola. But please leave the comments in the section below, and I hope you come back and join me in the next episode. See you later.